All right, Matt, what do we have on deck today?
A lot of good stuff. We have Amazon, tiny houses, quite the interesting combination there. We have Snapchat looking to make a comeback. We also have Snapchat getting a bit of slap from the government, and Google's watching you.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Matty and Melvin Show, episode 8. Matt was in Las Vegas last week doing God knows what, but we're back again.
Can't tell you.
So Matt, do you want to start it off for us? What do we got?
Yeah, sure. We'll kick off the rust. So, recently released that Amazon is getting into the tiny home market. As many of you probably seen on HGTV, tiny homes, people going around the country and shopping for homes that are the size of a single room and or a closet and somehow calling that a home. Amazon is getting into that as well. So they are partnering with this company called Allwood and selling what would be, I think it is a 200 square foot house, somewhere around that range, for around $7,000, right? And the idea behind this, you can go on Amazon, you can literally go on Amazon right now and buy one of those if you so choose to spend your $7,000 on that. The idea behind this that Amazon wants to push is this not to be so much of a tiny home that you can live in, but a tiny home that you can add to your yard, to wherever else on your property, to use it as a yoga studio, to use it as an office, a secondary house, whatever it may be, a guest room, whatever you want to do. Very interesting that Amazon would get into this. Typical tiny homes go for about $25,000. This one's about $7,000. So typically, in true Amazon fashion, undercutting the market. Interesting to see how this actually pans out for Allwood and Amazon. Allwood had the goal at the beginning of this year to sell 250 units, meaning 250 houses. So far on Amazon's site, there have only been 2 comments on it. One about the price and then one that said this was a scam. So Amazon, I talked about it last week. What else is Amazon going to go into? We thought about everything else, oil, whatever else the other ones were. We talked about them going into space, and then they went from space, the big, huge, expansive space, to tiny homes. So if you feel like living in a very tiny home and you have a bit of a money crunch, go on Amazon. You get a house on there now. Matt, what do we got?
So this may not be groundbreaking news, but Google's been tracking you. And what I mean by that is they've been tracking where you've been going, when you've been going, and it's all stored allegedly for just your use. So although this isn't new, and you probably have already turned off your location tracking, some people haven't, and it's absolutely astounded them that if you go into Google, go to settings, you'll be able to have an exact map of where you've been, at what times. So critics are saying that this obviously is not safe based on the data breaches we've had at other big social media companies. So if you want to know how to turn off your location setting and delete any historical maps that show where you've been or where you constantly go, follow these directions. First, go to this web address. Thank you. So this is a good page to bookmark because it gives you actual control over all your privacy settings. Once you get there, scroll down to location history, choose manage location history, and this is where you'll see everywhere you've been. Which I don't know if you want to remember. You know, sometimes Matt, when he gets crazy on the weekend, needs to know where he went. But anyways, go down, tap Manage Location History, and then toggle the button off. But if you want to delete the history that's already recorded, you hit Delete All Location History. Yes, that's it. Be safe and go on to this website right now.
Yeah, we like to give you little life hacks, like we talked about how to do this with Facebook as well, and with Google. I know it was pretty creepy for me the first time I was on my phone, and all of a sudden my Google Maps just came up and said, it's going to take you 10 minutes to get here, because it knew that I went there every single day. So, little life hack there. If you want to clear up your privacy, do it.
I kind of like it though. I like when it says, oh, are you going to the Kalo offices? Are you going to the gym? Because when you're not going to the gym, you're like, oh shit, I should probably go to the gym.
It's a good point. Subtle motivation. Well played, Google. Well played. All right, up next, Snap is back. So Snapchat was the darling technology for a number of years in the mid to early 2000s. Or 2010 to about 2015. And it was, valuations kept going up and up and up and up and up, and it was all this crazy talk about it. It was they turned down, I think, $3 billion in cash from Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook. And then Snap started to decline, right? Instagram stole their idea with stories. And I personally like Instagram stories a lot more. They did a whole refresh and redesign, which turned a lot of users off. And with that, most importantly, Snap, their main reason why they were getting valued so high, among other things, but one of the big drivers was them being a potential ad platform. Unfortunately, when they first came out with ads, it was not robust, it was not good, the platform wasn't great, the targeting wasn't there, it just was not very solid at all. Well, Snapchat has grown in leaps and bounds in that department. It's starting to do a really, really, really good job with that. And they just released a new feature called Instant Create, which basically allows you to very, very, very quickly create a new ad. There's 3 steps to it. All you have to do is identify the objective to your campaign, enter your website address, and finalize the audience you want to target. What Snapchat will do is it will pull images dynamically from your website. You can upload your own images, but if you don't have enough time, if you're not a designer, you don't want to worry about that, Snapchat will pull in an image from your website, basically populate it on a very, very popular ad template that has performed well, and then start serving that ad. So this makes a lot of sense for any customers, any of our customers out there, or any smaller customers who don't have a lot of time to basically create ads of this nature, or a designer just don't have that look and feel and would like Snapchat to help them with that. It's a really good entryway into getting on Snapchat. If you want to find out more about this, click the link in the blog, but at the same time, contact us. We have a Snapchat team, Samantha Hart. She'll get it dialed in for you.
Yeah, plug. On that note, Snapchat is coming under fire from a senator. What he did is that was bad.
Time out. And cut.
Speaking of Snapchat, a U.S. senator recently proposed a bill. Why are you looking so closely? I just heard. Speaking of Snapchat, a U.S. senator recently proposed a bill that would eradicate the streak feature. What's that, you say? Do you ever see the little emoji that's next to your best friend or your boyfriend's name or your girlfriend's name? Well, basically, that's a streak. It means that you get a point every time that you Snapchat somebody in a 24-hour period. So people have become so addicted to this that they want to have, 100-day, 200-day streaks with their friends to prove something.
Besties.
Anyways, the bill would eradicate this feature because they feel like it promotes an addictive behavior on Snapchat's platform. And allegedly, in 2017, the Royal Society for Public Health determined that Snapchat was one of the most detrimental social media platforms out there. Yikes. So along with axing the streak, this bill would also limit the infinite scrolling feature and the automatic play. So with that, they're hoping that it will create a natural stopping point and that people won't spend hours on social media anymore.
All right. This show is brought to you by
Snow, the most innovative new technology to bring you the widest teeth possible. Included is a mouthpiece that connects to your phone and emits a blue light that kills germs and whitens your teeth in 9 minutes or less. See you next week.
Bye.